Good afternoon, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are. On this very day, the 17th day of February in the year of our Most High Elohim 2021, with the time now standing at exactly 5 minutes past 12 noon here in Houston, Texas, 5 minutes past 7 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra, and the same number of minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are residing and listening to us. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. We are being listened to right across the length and breadth of this very planet Earth. We are educating, we are enlightening people, we are bringing knowledge to those who we are previously uneducated about the issues afflicting their lives, but also that of the damnable zoological republic. And as I welcome you, I would like you to welcome other people as well. Fortunately, or should I say unfortunately, we are broadcasting, or should I say simulcasting this very broadcast on Twitter. We are also on YouTube. People may decide to copy the link and put it on Facebook if that is what they desire to do. Because our enemies think that they are smart, but we are far more intelligent than they are. And this evening is a very clear demonstration of that will to never ever say die. We are live on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, it's very simple. And might I also add, it is low data usage. Low data usage. Our enemies will try all they can, but they cannot succeed, they cannot prevail. Because we are resolute, because we are determined, and what we are doing is right before God Almighty in heaven and the sons of men on this very earth. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra, the director of Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of God Almighty in heaven, Elohim Chukwukika Biama Prumiyanine, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. This evening we are going to lecture. This evening we are going to preach the gospel of heaven. This evening even the blind will be able to see, even those who are foolish as a result of their encounter or the unfortunate circumstance of being born in a place called Nigeria. This very evening, morning, night, depending on where you are, they will all receive some sense. They will become people you can rely upon to reason and to discern properly. But before we go into all of that, we are going to pray. As it is customary with us here on this noble platform, we hand over all our proceedings to God Almighty in heaven for Him to take pride of place in our lives. And as always, I am going to pray in the oldest language on this very planet Earth. I am going to pray in the language of the ancients. I will pray in the language of heaven itself. Because even right now, the angels circling the throne of Almighty in heaven, they are worshiping Him. We must pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke dị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Nna anyị nke bi n'ime igwe, onye anyị na-etu ebighị ebi. Ka aha gị dị nsọ mgbe niile n'ime ndụ anyị, gị obi onye bụ onye masịrị mkpa anyị n'ime. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị ike ịnakwa na ọ batara aka gị ka ọ nọ, onye nwe m. Ọ bụkwa ịja mma ka anyị na-aja gị otuto, ka anyị na-eto gị nsọpụrụ, ka anyị na-asọpụrụ aha nsọ gị, onye na-adị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Yeni ni kere kene rubere gị isi. Mmụọ na mmadụ na-akpụ isi ala nye gị. Anụ ufe nke igwe enweghị ọkụ nke ọ na-aga mana ị na-enye ya nri. N'ihi na ọ bụ gị onwe gị bụ Chineke nna nke okike. Ọbụla dị ihe niile bụ usu niile nke ndị agha nke ime eluigwe akpụ isi ala nye gị. N'ihi na ọ bụ ọlụ aka gị ka mbara igwe na-egosi. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke na-adịghị agharịpụ ndị ya. N'ihi na okwu gị niile bụ ye na amen. Ihe ọ bụla idere idewu ya dịka isi wee kpebie mana mmụọ mana mmadụ na Biafra gadarịrị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị ngọzi. Ọ bịa ma iji wee na-enye oto niile na nsọpụrụ niile ịja mma niile n'ihi na onweghị onye dị ka gị. Ma ọ bụghị ihe ọzọ kwere na anyị onwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Anyị ga-ebu ọnụ, anyị ga-ekpere gị ekpere, anyị ga-akpọkwa ha nsọ, anyị ga-abụrụ gị abụ ọma onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị ngọzi. Anyị ga-efe gị n'ụzọ ziri ezi. A ga-eji Biafra wee chọrọ gị aja. Ọ bịa mere iji wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị n'ụbọchị nke taa ka iwe bịa nọnyere ndị gị. Lekwa ụmụ gị ọbụla ndị nke eji eji n'ụlọ iko na ebe niile dị iche iche n'obodo ekwensu bụzu Naijiria. Si n'aka ekwensu na ihe ọjọọ na ọchịchịrị wee napụta ụmụ gị. N'ezie n'ezie anyị ma ome wee megide gị n'ụzọ niile dị iche iche, okwu ọnụ, akparamagwa, echiche. Mana ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna bụ onye na-agbaghara mmehie. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iwe gbaghara anyị mmehie. Ka ịma mma gị na ebere gị wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ anyị. Ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Ka i wee nye anyị mmụọ nke ịhụnanya, mmụọ mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne. Wee zugara anyị ekworo, anyị ukwu, anyị ụfụ. Bịa ka i wee tinye ezi ndụ n'ime anyị. Ka i wee du anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume gị. Ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpetamazụ ụwa niile ga-eji Biafra wee maatụ. Ha ga-asị na ọ bụ ebe a ka ihe ịrịba ama gị nke ikpetamazụ mere. Anyị ga-aja gị ma wee too gị, gọzie ha nsọ gị ma bulie gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise. Now that we have called upon heaven, we are going to proceed to preach the gospel for that which we are born. This is the gospel of heaven, the gospel of hope, the gospel of redemption. I would not use the word unfortunately, but if you want to listen to us via social media, please spread this far and wide. You go to Twitter, you will be able to listen to us. It is a far more sophisticated, far more intelligent platform. There you can also make your contributions. I will be able to read your questions from there. If you want to put any questions across to us later on, when our lines does open, please, I will strongly recommend that you do not call us. You go to Twitter and you post your question there. I will go through them and I will answer your questions. This afternoon from here in Houston, Texas, depending on where you are, we are going to build a preamble to this very lecture series, or should I say the lectures that we have for you today. Because here on this glorious platform in the past, when we say something, a lot of you do not take what we say very seriously. But the manifestation of those predictions or prophecies, if I can put it that way, goes a long way to justify that we have been sent by heaven to do this very work upon the lives of men. This evening, you will not believe it. You have to read it to believe it. Do you know that Janjaweed, Fulani Janjaweed, do you know what they said about their relationship with our Yoruba brothers and sisters? They say that the Yorubas to them are like their wives. I hope you're listening very, very carefully. To them, they said the Yorubas are their wives or their slaves. I did not say it. This is what came out of the mouth of Arewa United Consultative Forum. It was published by a Yoruba-owned news platform, Sahara Reporters, so you can attest to its authenticity. What is very shocking about this is what we have known from the past. As I told you a couple of days ago, what they want to do is to subdue the Yorubas first, and then they will now move into the east with the might of the army. And they have made Imo State their capital. That is their launching pad from where they are going to launch attack against us. because they have installed their stooge, Hope Uzodinma, who never won any elections. They have also installed a Fulani Janjaweed slave in the name of George Obiozo. That is why, I don't know if I've announced this before, but I'm making it very clear. Ohaneze Ndibo can no longer meet in public because they are enemies of the people. Hope Uzodinma himself cannot come out in public anymore. He can run Imo State from Abuja if he wants. Ohaneze Ndibo na ndị Ara na ndị Oshi can do all the like from Abuja. Anywhere they gather in public, they will be scattered by us. We're making it very clear. And I also want to put the world on notice this very moment, or should I say afternoon from here in Houston, Texas, that Imo State has been selected as the launching pad from where the Janjaweed will resist any efforts to remove them from our land. The same way they have converted Oyo and Ondo to their launch pads. In terms of the attack, they have persistently and consistently launched against the Yoruba nation. Imo State has been selected for that very purpose, and our people must be very, very careful. To that effect, therefore, any village head, any traditional ruler, any traditional prime minister, any president general from Imo State that is found to be aiding or abating the government of Hope Uzodinma will be seen as an enemy of the people. They become legitimate targets for reprisal attacks because they are the ones now encouraging the Fulani Janjaweed to come into our land to lay it to waste. They are enemies of the people. Imo State is the new battleground, and we are going to fight to the very last man to ensure that our land remains as spiritually pure and sanctified as it has been from old. This very day, what we are not going to allow what Arewa Consultative Forum or Arewa United, whatever their name is, what they said about our friends and our brothers and our neighbors, the Oduduwa Republic, to become our portion. I will read this very headline for you. If you doubt me, you go and Google it. You will see that what I'm telling you is absolutely correct. North, Southwest shouldn't fight. As we have always known, the alliance that keeps the zoo Nigeria going is a criminal alliance between the forces of repression from the Janjaweed North and those I call reprobates. People I see as, what should I call them? They call them intelligent fools from the West. They are the ones keeping the zoo together. And today they have come to revive that alliance. That alliance was forged before they attacked Biafra. They have gone now to try to replicate it, but thankfully, the likes of Paya Dabanjo is there, Afenifere is there, OPC is there, Gani Adams is there, and a few others that will resist them. Because this very game plan they are now putting into place, or they are playing out, they have done in the past. And that is why our lives, or should I say our life, is as miserable as it is today as it's ever been. The North, Fulani North, and the Yoruba West shouldn't fight. They are like husband and wife, slave and master. Can you believe that? The Fulani are calling the Yorubas their slaves, and nobody is saying anything about this. It just broke, the news just broke today. I got this information today. Yoruba is the wife of a Fulani husband. Yoruba is the slave, whereas Fulani is the master. They went on to say that this group advised the North and the West, which is Yoruba land, not to engage in any dispute. They will not mention the East because they see the East as the natural enemy. And this is the mistake that the Yorubas have always made. They are about to make the one that will swallow them, that will make what happened to Afonja in Ilorin look like a child's play. if at all they fall for this. But I'm sure Paya Debanja will not allow it to happen. Not Pafashoranti won't allow it to happen. Not any of the big hitters from Afenifere will allow this nonsense to prevail. But you must listen to me very carefully to what I have to say today, because this is the problem with Nigeria. People do not reason, they do not think, they do not discern, they don't ponder, they do not reflect. They never ever do until it is too late. How can Fulani be referring to Yoruba people as their wives and as their slaves in the open? In the open, not hidden, in the open. The same thing they want to do to us with Hope Uzodinma. And the church will be also for Hanes and Biafra and Dioshi. They can no longer gather in public. Anytime they gather in public, they, of course, they know what we're capable of. Arewa United Consultative Forum, I'm reading the news for you so you're really clear. Not from us, not from any Biafra platform. This is from Sahara Reporters, owned by Yoruba man. So you can know it is real. Arewa United Consultative Forum has called on northerners across the country, northerners, including Igbo people in Benue State. That is how lopsided, how skewed, how idiotic the whole Nigerian nonsense is to me. They are calling Igbo people in Benue State the northern part of Nigeria. People don't know the type of mess they are in. This gospel we preach every blessed day in the hope that people will at least be able to reason properly. Now listen. They have called on northerners across the country not to retaliate against southerners, not to retaliate against Yoruba. They said not to retaliate against southerners, which includes people from the east, living in Kanu, in Kaduna, in Zaria, in all the Janjaweed core north. Understand this very clearly. Their fight, they claim, is with Yoruba, but they are saying don't attack southerners because they know that the majority of people living in the north are from the east, non-indigenous. I hasten to add, not to retaliate against southerners following the recent clash between Yoruba and Hausa communities, not Yoruba and Hausa, but Yoruba and Fulani inspired terrorists in Shasha Market in Ibadan, or your state capital. What they want to do in Imo State. What they want to do in Imo State with Hope Uzodinma and some idiots looking for money, hungry people. That is what they want to replicate in Imo State. What is happening in Oyo? Fulani is trying to take over Oyo. They know that the Fulani market is no longer selling. They now put Hausa in front. Fight between Hausa people. Do you see these people? They think they're clever. We all know that the terrorists in Nigeria are Fulani people, not Hausa, Fulani. We know that very well. Now there is a war or altercation, so to speak, going on in Oyo State in Ibadan at a place called Shasha Market a few days ago. Now they're bringing in Hausa because they know that if they say it's Fulani and Yoruba, nobody will. No, in fact, they will say to Yoruba, kill all the Fulanis there because all of them are murderers and killers. They know that very well. So what have they done? They now cleverly said there was a fight between Hausa and Yoruba. You people should stop making this mistake you make all the time. There is no fight. There was never any fight between Hausa and Yoruba. Never, ever, ever. There was a fight between Fulani terrorists and the Yoruba people in a battle in Oyo State. That is the fact. But because Fulani is bad market, the name Fulani now means darkness. It means terrorism. It means rape. It means murder. It means mayhem. It means insecurity. That is the reason why, I repeat, that is the reason why they have infused Hausa into the conflict. And now when the North, to tell you how duplicitous and evil Nigeria is, in the North, They know that not many Yoruba people are living in the north. They know that very well. They know that people living in the north and doing their businesses in the core north, by which I mean the 12 or 13 Sharia states of Fulani Janjaweed in the north. They know the Yorubas are not there. They know that people who are residing there are stubborn Igbo people. Some of them will be killed very soon. They'll be killed in the north. And I do not care. I do not care. They've been killing us since 1945. So what is if they kill us in 2021? What's the big deal? They said, do not attack Southerners. They don't, because they don't want to use the word Yoruba, because if they say, don't attack Yorubas in the north, people will be asking them, where are the Yorubas in the north? So when it comes to political uprising of this nature, they group the Yoruba and the Igbo as one. They group Oduduwa and Biafra as one people, and they call you Southerners. Do you understand the trick? I don't know how to explain this so that people can understand what I'm saying. The reason why they're using the word Southerners is because when the attack starts, it's bound to happen anyway, they will say we are killing Southerners. And when you go to the map of the world or of the Zoological Republic, you will see that in the south of Nigeria, you have Oduduwa in the west, and you have in the east Biafra. So you will say, oh, Southerners are being killed in the north. You will not say that Igbo people are being killed in the north. Because the fight which they are alluding to happened in the west. Yoruba killed terrorists, and rightfully so. Are you feeling what I'm saying? In order to justify any future killings of Biafran people in the north, they are now saying, do not kill Southerners. I don't know if people are following. I don't know if they're following what I'm telling them. I don't know if they are following what I am explaining to them. I don't know if people are following what I am trying to get across to them. Why they infused South into this mayhem is because when they start killing Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kano, they will say, we are killing Southerners. They will tell BBC World Service, BBC Hausa Service, even the stupid BBC. They will start writing, oh, it's Southerners, Southerners, because they know that there are no Yorubas in Sabongeri in Kano. Understand the way they reason in this. That is why we take time to analyze the news for you, so you understand it. A lot of us, we are not English people. We have to go to school to study English language. So when they write all these, their lies, or try to change these narratives in English language, it is our duty and responsibility to lay out the facts the way they are. And that is exactly what we are doing this afternoon from Houston in Texas. The group said that the North and West should not engage in any dispute. They never mentioned the East, likening them to husband and wife or slave and master relationship because of their similar traditions and religious beliefs. That was what I warned you in the past about the Fulani. The same way they have come to Imo State, they're saying some of them are doing Islamic calling in nowhere, doing Islamic calling in Ishiaba. Very soon, when they strike you and won't take over your land, they will say, we have similarities in religion. The only reason why they are saying this is because of the likes of Tinubu, who is a Muslim, the likes of Lai Muhammad, who is a Muslim, the likes of Saraki. It's basically because they took over a Lauren from the Yoruba people. Are you understanding me? Now they have similar beliefs, they have similar culture, which is a lie, of course, because Yoruba is distinct from Fulani. Fulani, they're not even indigenous to Nigeria to start with. Understand what I'm saying at this precise moment. The reason why they said that Hausa people are fighting Yoruba in Ibadan is to draw Hausa into the equation so that Hausa can kill people for them in the north. That is why they're doing it. So Hausa can start killing people in the north. And when they kill Igbo people, when they kill Biafrans in the north, they will say they are killing Southerners. Because if you look at the map of the zoo called Nigeria, Oduduwa is in the south, where the problem is happening. So also is Biafra land. It's a very clever ploy, very clever move. That is what the advisors are telling them. That is the way they advise them. That is why our people must rise. They must be alert all the time. You must be able to reason. If you do not reason in the zoo, they will cheat you, they will bamboozle you, they will make all that you learned and studied at the various schools you attended to become a waste, an absolute waste. Yoruba is like their slave. If they said it in the open, it's a Yoruba newspaper. Yoruba is like their wife. They also condemned the crisis that resulted in the loss of lives and properties worth millions of naira, describing it as the handiwork of the enemies of the country. They have gone back. That is what they always do. They talk about unity. Always put it at the back of your mind. As I told you before, anybody discussing one Nigeria is putting your life in danger. When they kill you, the first thing they do is, oh, please, let's forget and come together as one for the sake of the country. Which country? Is it the country that has given you drinking water? Or is it the country that you have light? Or is it the country that you have good roads? Therefore, my question is, as always, tell me one single thing that can compel you to be proud of Nigeria. Name that thing. Give me, oh, what do you have? Is it the population that you have that is starving, that is ranked amongst the poorest in the world? What do you have to be proud of? Nothing. Now, this unity based on what? Let somebody define this unity for me. When hydrogen and oxygen comes together, when these molecules come together to form water, which is H2O, is it one molecule of hydrogen and two molecules of oxygen? O2, H plus, I'm not a chemist, but I'm just only guessing. H, which is one molecule of hydrogen plus O2, two molecules of oxygen. If you did your primary chemistry or elementary chemistry, you will know, gives you water. Before two of them can come together, they must have receptors. To explain to you that what is in the spirit is also in the living, here on a moon on a matter. Before hydrogen can agree to form water with oxygen, before hydrogen and oxygen can come together to become water, drinking water, this water that I have in front of me, they must agree to be one. There's something called receptors. One must open up for the other to come in, so that together they can form the drinking water that you have in front of you. So the unity of hydrogen and oxygen results in potable drinking water that anybody can have. Tell me what comes out of the unity of all these savages in the zoo called Nigeria. Name one single thing. That is nothing. I'm not asking them to do anything special for you. Common electricity. You know, they are as backward. To tell you how evil they are, even the factories that were working before, where some of your fathers were employed, meaningfully employed, they destroyed all of them. 40 years ago, there was running water all over the place. 45, 50 years ago, there was running water. Anybody who went to Library Avenue Primary School in Umuahia, I think it was the best at that time. You know that during the break time, we cross over to the library, to Umuahia Library, to go and drink water. You know that our tap was running. The tap in the primary school, Library Avenue, our tap was running. We can go there, we queue, and we drink water. Straight from the tap. PWD, Public Works Department in Umuahia, was working. You can go there and see them pumping water and treating water in the afternoon. This was 40, 45 years ago. Something that was working 40, 45 years ago in the year 2021 is no longer working. Now, what is there to be proud of Nigeria about? Just to explain this to me. In the past, there used to be electricity. In the past, as children, we used to watch O'Connor's Club. We used to watch Zebrodaya Masquerade. What do you watch today? We used to appear on children's variety show on NTA Channel 6 in Aba. Are those things happening now? Do you have electricity to even watch television? Every Saturday night, all over the place, 7 to 7:30 in the evening, everybody is glued to the television, watching O'Connor's Club. Go and ask. Not foreign, and not it wasn't made in Hollywood, not made anywhere in Europe. These are local content made locally. Are those things happening now? Why are they not happening? Because the zoo called Nigeria is always moving backwards. Now, you have no running water, you have no electricity, you have nothing going for you. Even the second-hand okreka that we used to buy in Aba, second-hand clothing in Aba, Obasanjo shut it down. Even the okoroko we used to eat, stockfish we used to eat from Aba, they closed everything down. There used to be a fertilizer company, I think you know name. Is it working? The answer is no. We used to have refineries. Ipob refinery. Only refinery, is it working? It used to employ millions of people. If you include all the spin-off, all the economies that depended on these functioning refineries, then let me tell you, Ipob seaport was working. People were employed. All of those things shut down. And somebody's talking about one Nigeria, as if Nigeria has anything to offer any meaningful human being, except all those corrupt, idiotic, kleptomaniacal politicians. All their life is they steal. To the extent they now went to Lagos and brought a 419 in the person of Hope Uzodinma and made him the governor of Imo State. I'm still on only one topic. Today, Fulani is coming because they know nothing will happen to them. Fulani is coming out to say that Yoruba is their wife. Oh, dear me, Zoological Republic. Because they know that they cannot fight a war on 3 fronts. They know that very well. You see, they think they are clever. Whoever is advising them must know that you have IPOB. We are more intelligent than them. They think that they know they cannot be fighting, they cannot move men and arms to the west and also move men and arms to the east. So they had to cool, to dampen Yoruba, their wife. They need to make Yoruba their wife and their slave. Hey, can you imagine? Fulani said Yoruba is their wife. No wonder Facebook doesn't want me to broadcast today on their platform. Are you following what I'm telling you? Are you now appreciating the depth of mess Yoruba people are in? Do you not appreciate it? I think somebody said to some of the Fulefus, call them sophisticated morons. You're sophisticated, but you're a moron. Fulani says you are their wife. You are their slave. Don't take my word for it. Go and Google it. Go and go to Sahara Reporters. I'm sure it's there. North, Southwest shouldn't fight. They are like husband and wife, slave and master. Our Lord God, the Lord of all the hosts of heaven, in 2021, because what goes around comes around. I warned them, they did not listen. Today they have come out in the open to say that the Yoruba people, a very proud race, is their slave. They cite similar traditions and beliefs because one of the traditional rulers of a Yoruba territory reports to the Sultan of Sokoto. The Emir of Ilorin reports to the Sultan of Sokoto. Yoruba is their wife because they conquered Ilorin and took it from the Yoruba people. That is why Yoruba is their wife and slave. The same thing they want to try in Imo State. Dear me. You will hear this story very soon, in a matter of days. And we're not wasting time on that one. They condemned the crisis in a statement signed by their president, Alhaji Adon Shuaibu Dansudu. The forum recalled how the country had produced great leaders across ethnic lines, working to promote, once again, unity of the country. Everything is unity, unity, unity. And they went on to read out names. They don't even know their history. The idiot said that it was the Sadwana of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello, who came to the west and appointed S.L. Akintola as the governor of the West, because they are not aware of history. They do not know history. They go to the mosque, they go and do the Babiala, they go to elementary schools, and they teach them what I call jaundiced history. Jaundiced history. And that is what they regurgitate all the time when they speak on issues that is quite clearly above their station. Things they know nothing about. The North and South are like husband and wife. Fulani is now marrying Yoruba. No wonder they said they're not in their forest. Sir Samuel Akintola, Esala Akintola, was appointed by Sir Ahmadu Bello, which is pure rubbish, as the premier of the Southwest, pure bunkum, turning history on its head. But they got some things right. When you go on, they appointed Gowon, who was a Christian from the Middle Belt. They said, "Hey, come!" You know, that's what I did to Hokus. Oh, come! You're a Christian. Come! Oh, come! Let us come together and make Nigeria one. Today, the whole of the Middle Belt is gone. They are killing Christians in the Middle Belt. That is the way they roll. They come to you, they pat you on the back, they cajole you. Eventually, they will slaughter you. That's what they did to Gowon and his people. And exactly what they intend to do to the great Yoruba race, which is very, very sad indeed, if they allow this thing to happen. Of course, Gowon appointed Obafemi Awolowo, the only finance minister in a military regime in the history of African politics. But that's for another day. Then he said that Nigeria relied on resources of the North before the discovery of oil. What is that resource from the North? Granite. Ordinary granite. The peanut you eat, granite you eat. Which country ever survived on granite? The pyramids you build, they are fake. You build platforms underneath, and then you start. Fake, it is there. And I want the pictures everywhere. The fake pyramid they have, they built a scaffolding underneath, and then they dropped a few bags of granite on top of it. Who told you? The only benefit, if you can call it that, that the South received from your granite was the transportation of that granite from Kanu to Iguacha, where they moved it to England for processing. How can granite feed a whole nation? See how they lie and deceive themselves. These are those in the mold of that journalist Kadira Ahmed. People that say the truth and prefer to spew out lies and deception. Lies and deception. They claim the North was feeding everybody. Do you see what they teach me? I blame Jonathan for this nonsense, for opening Almajiri schools for them. You see what you have done. This is what they're teaching them. That the North, when did the North feed everybody? When the East relied on palm oil and manufacturing, the West relied on cocoa and manufacturing. You had only granite in the North. And during this very period, every part of the zoo, every major component had their own constitution. You were on your own. At what point did your granite feed everybody? When? Was it when Nigeria had 3 autonomous regions, the East, the West, and the North? Do you see how they lie? Do you see how they deceive all of you? And you, every blessed day, you fall for their rubbish. Every day, you fall for their nonsense. Look at the lies they're spewing out. But unfortunately for them, that's what they call me, the biggest criminal. Because we catch them and we catch the idiots and we expose them for who they are, a bunch of retarded liars, deceivers. If this is what Britain asks you to say today, you are mistaken. They must know we exist. Anytime you lie, we catch you. Go and look at it. Look at all the economic. How did Awolowo manage to build Liberty Stadium? Money from where? Not money from oil. Money from cocoa. If you don't know, let me tell you. All the things you did in the North was grant. The reason why, if you go and, because they don't study, they don't know history, if you go and study the reason why Nigeria was amalgamated, the North and the Southern Protectorate, the reason why they amalgamated the North and the South was because the North was poor. Go and read the submissions of Frederick Lugard to the House of Commons. Go and read it very, very well. You Janjaweed, go and study for once in your useless lives. You will see, let's look at why are you mixing the North and the South? He said because the North is poor. If we do not make them together, the North will go bankrupt. That's why do you have this useless, nonsensical contraption called Nigeria? Look at how they are lying. If you are feeding Nigeria, why would Lugard say that you are poor? You have nothing. Why? Oh, these people, they are sick in the brain. He said that they are feeding Nigeria, which is a lie, of course, until the discovery of oil. He said that General Murtala Muhammad picked Obasanjo on the command. He's now telling you years of cooperation between Yoruba and the Fulani. If Yoruba people accept this very narrative, it means they are also complicit in what's happening in Nigeria today. Also, Babangida picked a Southerner as a second in command. Just as General Buhari picked, they didn't want to say an Igbo man or a Biafran. They said a Southerner, which is a Bitukiwe. Bitukiwe saw the nonsense they were doing and decided to resign. Bitukiwe said, I'm not going to be a part of this rubbish. Under Babangida, go and read your history. These things were happening before our eyes. We were not told. Before our eyes. Thankfully, I was able to read newspapers because after my father must have finished reading newspapers, I'll go and pick them up and be reading them. I knew everything that transpired. Ebitukiwe said no. I think it was in the year 1985, if I'm not mistaken. 85, they took over power from this animal in 85. In 86, independence, the 1st of October, Ukiwe declined to join Babangida to take the salute. On 1st of October, 1986, please correct me if I'm wrong. That day, Babangida wore a naval uniform. Like Ukiwe, because Ukiwe declined to attend and resigned his position as the second in command. Here they're saying he picked, now we have threatened them so much that they can no longer pronounce Biafra or pronounce Igbo anymore. They can no longer do it. Or East, never. He said that Babangida picked a Southerner, never. You never mentioned the Southerners' name to tell you how evil Fulani is. Never mentioned the Southerners' name. But when it came to Buhari picking today Diagon, they mentioned his name. They said Buhari picked today Diagon. But when Babangida picked Ebitukiwe, they said he picked a Southerner. Are you now listening? By Southerner, they mean that Yoruba and Igbo, Duduwa and Biafra are one. That is what they are saying, in essence. If you can read between the lines, that is exactly what they are saying. He said, right from time, even Buhari also picked Yemi Oshibajo, Abacha picked Oladipo Dia as the second in command. So Yoruba and the Fulani have been dividing Nigeria and are sharing the national cake. They have been having fun. Well, why should we fight in a battle? Because a new generation of Yorubas have now come up and seen the mistakes of those that have gone before them. That is why they want Oduduwa Republic. That is why we want Biafra Republic. Now, they remind you that you have always been second to us. We have always picked you. No wonder they said you are our wife and our slave. We have always picked you. They can never ever tell you where a Yoruba man picked a Fulani man. No, it's always Fulani picking Yoruba. Have you seen it? He also went on to say that Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that basically that people are trying to sabotage Bola Ahmed Tinubu the same way they sabotaged Abiola, whereas it is Fulani that sabotaged Abiola, not Yoruba nation. If it were the Yoruba nation that actually sabotaged Abiola, why do you think they went into Nadeko and fought very, very vigorously? You don't think we know what they plan? What they plan to do before is that they basically Nigeria is an Islamic country. So after an Islamic so-called Buhari administration, an Islamic Tinubu administration will take over. That's what they want to do. After Tinubu's Islamic administration, then El Rufai will take over from the north. Islamic. That's what they want to do. They think we don't know. Of course we know. We know all their stupid childish games. That is why they say that the Yorubas are their wives and their slaves. turning history upside down. Yoruba that fought very hard for June 12th. You are now saying that the Yoruba people sabotaged Abiola when it was you people in the north that said no to Abiola. Did Abiola not bankroll and finance all of you from the Janjaweed north? Wasn't Abiola very close to Babangida? Did he not finance Babangida? Was Abiola not a Muslim the same way that Tinubu is? You killed him, and now you're turning around. Do you see how they behave? You're now turning around to blame Yoruba for the death of their son. How sad you people are. They say that these are the same people who are now instigating misunderstanding and problems within Southerners and Northerners, not Yoruba and Hausa as he claimed before. See the way they keep playing with words. If you are very foolish, you fall for it. If you're very foolish, you fall for it. But now you can understand the reason why they have given money to Facebook, given money to the media in the zoo to cover all these things. That is what they do. That is what they specialize in. Lies and deception. Lies and deception. And that is why here on this platform, we keep exposing them. Here on this platform, we keep exposing them. And we shall continue to do so until the zoo disintegrates beyond recognition. Go and read it up. They say that Yoruba is their slave. And continuing on this vein, that is the reason why every time they lie, they deceive. That is that girl called Kadira Ahmed. That people are now saying, oh, what she said is correct. But they think that we don't know history. We know everything happening in this zoo because we are part and parcel of the extremism, the banditry, the lawlessness, the insecurity brought about by the Fulani Janjaweed. We know all of that. These people talking rubbish today, they can never rise up. The same Kadira Ahmed cannot rise up and say it is not a good thing that every service chief is Fulani, that every head of a security agency is Fulani. She will never condemn it. She will never condemn the fact that the head of customs is Fulani, head of immigration is Fulani, everything is Fulani. She will never say it. Because they think all of you are stupid. They think you are foolish. But how mistaken they are. How mistaken. Somebody wrote that this Kadir Ahmed is good at doing what their forefathers did, which is takia, to deceive you. Because in Islam, it's allowed to use lies and deception to defeat unbelievers, the infidels, as they call it. This girl, Kadira Ahmed, who was crying, she was in Zamfara, crying that bandits have run them over in Zamfara. She was the one who was crying. Now, people from the south are saying, no, we don't want to cry the same way you cried in Zamfara. She's complaining. Do you see how they behave? This same girl has never ever condemned El Rufai. All of you listening to my program, even those listening from under the bed, those hiding behind their wife's wrapper, listening to us, you know what I'm saying to be correct. Who amongst you doesn't know that it was Governor El Rufai of Kaduna State that went to West African country, to the Sahel region, to pay his fellow Fulani murderers and killers to stop killing people in southern Kaduna? How did they get into the country? How those that El Rufai went to pay money to stop coming to southern Kaduna to kill people, how did they get into the country? None of you can ask yourselves this question. Your brain, I don't know what you do with your brain cells. What is the function of your brain? Is it just to eat, to procreate, to steal, to cheat, to lose it? Is that all your brain is there for? El Rufai, by his own admission, the governor of Kaduna State, traveled out of Nigeria to go and give money to some people. Who are those people he gave money to? They asked him. He said, these are killers and murderers from the Sahel. They are Fulani. They came to avenge the death of a Fulani head in Kaduna State. You traveled outside to go and pay killers, not to come in to kill. How did these killers come in anyway? So are you saying these killers, they crossed the borders of the north with AK-47 and no immigration officer stopped them? Oh, no, sorry. They came in and somebody gave them weapons in Nigeria. Who gave them weapons with which they killed in southern Kaduna in Nigeria? The Nigerian army. All of you know all these things. You keep hiding. You keep dodging the truth all the time. Why, I ask? And I ask this question to that young woman, Kadira Ahmed. Kadir Ahmed, I'm asking her, did you condemn El Rufai when he went to pay your fellow Fulani people in the Sahel to stop killing us in South Kaduna? What did you say then? You said nothing because you're Fulani. You people are part and part. Including Atiku Abubakar. They are all in this game. Did you see how they defend themselves? They can never condemn what is going on. All these people that he needs together. And one idiot from the East will happen from yes. You see how the Fulanis are cooperating. Now they want to enter into Yoruba. They want to enter into their psyche, into their brain. Oh, we are one people. Remember, you Yorubas, you have Muslims in your midst. Because of that, remember, we are one. You are our slave. You are our wife. We appointed you to all the positions you had in the past. Because of that, join us to go to the East and crop. That is a simple game plan. Unless you're intelligent enough to understand it. But that's what we know they will go to Yoruba first. So after Yoruba, they'll come to the East and then they will die there. But in the meantime, they want to use Hopo Sodema and George Obiozo to prop up Imo State as the flag of Islamic Janjaweedism in the East. From today, anywhere you see George Obiozo, arrest him. From today, take about Hong Kong, they are mad. They want to turn Imo State into a caliphate, a mini caliphate, so that the Janjaweed can come in and tell us, oh, we are all co-owners of Nigeria and Imo State. They said we Rogers Abogawusa. Rogers Abogawusa. I don't know even why they're still bringing in Pampas. You know, he wears Pampas now. I don't know why they're still bringing it in. You know what I mean? When a man starts wearing Pampas, you know what is going on. I don't have to tell you much. But listen to me very carefully. El Rufai is the governor of Kaduna State. No Fulani, Janjaweed, so-called frontline politician or journalist condemned him. Nothing at all. This was the same governor that won a hoodlum, that won foreign observers that came to monitor elections, that if APC doesn't win, he will kill them and send them back in body bags. That is why I'm in the USA. But El Rufai cannot come to the USA. Supposedly, I'm a terrorist and a criminal. He's a governor, executive governor. Places I go to, he cannot go to those places. I'm in America. El Rufai cannot come here. He cannot, because he is the real terrorist. Because the world knows he's the terrorist. Do you know one funniest thing that people don't know? Let me shock everybody who is listening now. It may come to you as a surprise. Do you know that Boko Haram has never ever been designated as a terrorist group in Nigeria? Do you know that? I heard this very morning. I was listening to Maegun's diary, a brilliant young man that speaks the truth. It was there. He said it, and I said that is true. And do you know when efforts were going on in the USA to designate Boko Haram a terrorist group, do you know that Britain was against it? Do you know that Britain was against labeling Boko Haram as a terrorist group? Do you know that Nigeria never tagged Boko Haram as a terror group? That was why they were calling them insurgents then. You never hear Fulani man or in government call Boko Haram a terrorist group, never. If you go to where they do their gazetting in the zoo, you will not see Boko Haram as a terrorist group. Go and check. It was the United States of America that designated Boko Haram as a terrorist group. But IPOB is a terrorist group to Fulani. They think they're clever, you know. They think they're so smart. You think you can use the tag of terrorism to shackle us, to bind us together, to chain us to your stupidity. So we will not talk, we won't speak. And then your people from the Sahel will be slaughtering and murdering their way all the way to the Atlantic. Is that what you think? And then we'll allow you to do it? All of you are insane. That is to tell you how hypocritical Nigeria is, and especially the so-called Fulani upper looting class. I won't call them elite, because elitism connotes a lot of things that these people, it has a lot of qualities to it. These people will never ever aspire to or meet in their entire existence on this very earth. They are useless. They are nothing, absolutely nothing. Today we are going to teach them what they don't know. Who will be more dangerous than Governor al-Bashir, Bununu of Bauchi State, who amid the tension already in the country felt that it was appropriate to have Fulani headsmen continue to carry AK-47 when elements within them were proven to be involved in kidnappings and killings across the whole South. You come to the South, you kill us. You want us to be singing hallelujah as you're slaughtering us. As some pastors will, all they're concerned about is offering and tithe. But I do commend most of the pastors that have spoken. Some preachers came up to condemn what is going on. That is one that always speaks very, very consistently about the evil and dangers of Fulani Janjaweedism. Nobody can condemn them. To tell that what is happening, the present state of insecurity in the country was well planned by the Fulani and the British. They planned it together. Britain said to them, don't worry, we'll control the world. Don't worry, don't worry. Go ahead and slaughter them. And that's what they're doing. And doing it in earnest. That is why we are here today preaching this very gospel. The time now is exactly 1 minute past 1 p.m. here. It's in the afternoon in Houston, Texas, because the world is spinning. You know, before I never believed. When I was young, I felt that if it was dark in Omaha, it's dark everywhere else in the world. Until I went to secondary school, and at class 2, we learned that the world is actually round and it is spinning, traveling at the speed of over 1,000 miles per hour. As we are right now, the world is spinning. That is why nothing stands still. Nothing can be in one place. That is how nature is. Nature was designed in a way that you cannot stand in one place. If you do, something will happen to you. Even not a glass of water. If you leave a glass of water in one place, it will start to smell after a while. See this water you drink. Go and fetch water now and put it in one place. Outside, just cover it. After 3 months, come back to that water and smell it. It will just smell it. Normally, water shouldn't have any smell because nature abhors anything that stands still. And in the zoo, most of you are standing still. Most of your brains are standing still. You do not follow the times. You are not working with the tide of the time. That is why a Fulani can deceive all of you. Come out with all these nonsensical statements. And you believe them. Let me tell you know what I've done. You see, you can go online on social media and you can find newspapers commenting and writing things about Biafra, Ipob, Nnamdi Kanu, and etc. If you go to Google, you cannot see it. If you go to Google, if you Google my name right now, all the news you see is 1 week old, 1 month, 2 months, and all of them negative. Some of you don't understand that we are in the heat of a battle. You cannot see it. Go there, you will see what I'm telling you. All the news, every news where we've been critical of what is happening in the zoo, where we've highlighted what's happening in the zoo, they will never report it. You cannot see it online, never. If you go to Google search or any search engine, you will see it. Because they are prepared. With a war chest of 30 billion, every white consultancy firm, every firm of lawyers and media and PR firms in the Western world wants a chunk of it. And we are human beings. Sometimes when you give somebody $3 million to try to suppress a news that doesn't affect your family, conscience will go through the window. That's exactly what is happening. And that is why idiots like Kadira Ahmed can come up and be spewing all this trash. And you allow that. That is why they will have the temerity to rise up and say that Yoruba people are their slaves. And all of you are quiet and doing nothing about it. Very, very sad indeed. They will never understand the reason why Yoruba youths are fighting to keep their land. Because headsmen went to Ogun State, slaughtered a woman, and dumped her corpse behind Obasanjo's farm in Ota, in Ogun State. They killed a Yoruba woman in her farm and dumped her body behind Obasanjo's farm. Because Obasanjo was one of those instrumental in the coming of Buhari. They said to Obasanjo, we made you who you are. We appointed you. Whoever you are today is down to our patronage. Because of that, you must support this murderer, this killer called Buhari. And he did. But thankfully, Buhari died. That is why Aisha ran away. Because I preached about Aisha a few days ago. Today in the news, there is a news. One group commend Aisha. She's 50 years old, a young girl to me. Aisha is a small girl to me. Aisha in the village should be calling me dead. Some of you bow before her. You say we are small boy. Of course, thank goodness. Please continue to call me a small boy. I love it. That is why I'll keep looking young. I am older than Aisha Buhari. Aisha is a baby. Aisha in the village. If I come, she'll prepare food for me to eat. I'm older than her by over 3 years. Aisha is a baby to me. In our culture, once somebody's older than you by 2 years, you call them dead or that's how we stand. Not now that this incoming generation that have no respect. She's 50. She's in Dubai, partying with her boyfriend from the Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Mohammed. He is the one wearing Buhari's mask, and we shall expose them. And all of you will be shocked the day we will expose them even more, because you are running away from the truth. Then we bring the truth to you. Since you are running from the truth, we shall endeavor to be. They killed the Kadila Ahmed will not tell you this. Those talking about Yoruba being their slave and their wife, they won't tell you about this. Ishola was abducted around 11 a.m. on Monday. Monday, a few days ago, 2 days ago. She was found dead the following day. Fulani herdsmen killed her. Fulani Janjaweed. They are everywhere. We are the only ones stopping them. Only IPOB. That is why I am so proud of this family you don't know. Sometimes people say he's arrogant. Why wouldn't I be? I have the finest family in the world, in the history of the world. Behind every move we make, every utterance we make. Why shouldn't I be proud of them? That Nigeria is still existing and not a caliphate today is down to IPOB. Nobody else, no human being. If Nigeria restructures, down to the resistance of IPOB, because we resist the Janjaweed. That is why even the little concession they have made, that's why they want to try Yoruba for the last time. If Yoruba were to stand strong now, people will be wondering, but why is he thinking about Yoruba? Because that is where the Achilles heel lies. If Yoruba remains very strong, the future will be bright. But if they capitulate under this, we are used to it. You can throw your propaganda from now to yesterday. It doesn't concern us. I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't. You can you can bring your BBC to run their documentary. You can bring all of them to write their rubbish. It doesn't affect us. We continue what we're doing. Yoruba must be strong now, today. Yoruba must be strong today in order to defeat these evil people there, because they are evil. They are evil. If you want to stay in Biafra land, you go to the township and live there. If you stay in the villages, you're looking for trouble. And if you're looking for trouble, you are going to get it. Once you get it, you are finished. Once you get it, you are finished. That is something that people must understand. That trouble you are looking for, once you get it, you are gone. You are finished. You are finished. Because we are not going to relent. We are not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. Be rest assured. And Hope also thinks is very clever. You know, these idiots that go like the day for these fools that go to the north. They think they're very smart. They think they have brain. They think other people don't, because they've done 419. They've done 419. They have done Yahoo before. Both Hope also and the day for because they have been doing obtaining by things, writing email, convincing people and duping them. They think they can dupe us. That's what they think. They can use their trickery, their email, or their Yahoo skills to trick us into buying our own chain with which the family will enslave all of us. But heaven will forbid. They cannot succeed. Not now, not tomorrow, not heaven. I don't know why some people take time to be convinced. Why should you take time to be convinced? Why? I'm asking you. Why? Can you not see what is going on? Can't you see what is happening? I ask you, are all of you deaf and dumb and blind? You cannot see what is going on. You cannot see what is happening. Can you not see it? Lekki gone. Is Lekki not finished? Do you know why the protest in Lekki ended? Because there was no IPOB in it. Because we didn't give the order for them to come out in Lagos. And the protest after 2.5 hours, everything collapsed. It collapsed. Next time they will know how important we are. But what I'm saying to all of you today, to those of you who may not know, to those of you who are hard at hearing, to those of you who are finding it very difficult to understand why we do what we do, is that if you do not do what we are asking you to do, then you are in very, very serious trouble. I assure you, you will sink. Fulani Janjaweed will swallow you whole. And then in your next life, you'll be looking and begging for IPOB family to join. But today, it is not too late. It is not too late today. You must come out to do the needful. And the needful is supporting everything that IPOB is doing. If you support us, you will live. If you don't support us, you will die. Something that we used to say before, when we say, they will say, oh, he's talking nonsense. He doesn't know what he's saying today, even with Shoyinka. But I keep saying, going back to Shoyinka, because the people allowing this nonsense to happen in Nigeria are Europe. I'm saying it in the open. If the Yorubas put their feet down to say enough is enough, all this nonsense will come to an end. That's why they're running to them. Because they know that the Yorubas cannot be complaining about something that the Biafrans are complaining about. Oduwa and Biafra cannot be, because if we say what we are saying, they'll say, oh, the reason why they want it because they are rebels. Ojukwu says that they are rebels. Britain can sell that narrative to the world. But if the same thing that Biafrans are complaining about, Yorubas are complaining about the same thing at the same time, the world is now under obligation to listen, because these two people cannot be mad at the same time. Do you see the trick there? Do you see what the Fulanis are trying to do? Because now the Yoruba people are complaining, and all the submissions, all the correspondence that the Yorubas have sent to all world bodies corresponds with what IPOB has been doing for years. And it is in the same Nigeria, the same geopolitical space. So what Britain told Fulani to do now is go and get the Yorubas to be on your side. If you get them to be on your side, when the Biafrans are complaining, the world will say, oh, you just want to secede. But once Yoruba is saying the same thing that the Igbos are saying, that Biafrans are saying, then the world will now listen. Do you see their trick? That is why I keep referencing Wole Soyinka, because he was one of those that supported Buhari when the idiot was alive. When the murderer was alive, when Buhari was alive, Wole Soyinka was one of those that supported him, because Jonathan was a soft touch. Anybody can kick him to the curb, but not Buhari and the Fulani Janjaweed. He supported them. I don't know how much they gave him. He supported them. Let us hear what he has to say. We are always right. As I keep saying, we always win. All those who are doubting us, can't you reason for once? Why is it that at the end of the day, everybody justifies IPOB's position? No matter what you do, you come back to acknowledge that we are right after all. Let us listen to Wole Soyinka again on the issue of who is in Asarok. Everybody knows that Buhari is dead. They know that. Even Okoko, fowl, chicken knows in Asarok that the idiot is no longer there. Where is Aisha? Where is Aisha, your second lady or third lady? Where is she? Because you people are, that is why anyway, Trump looked at Africans and said, hey, these people are jokers. There is no honor, there is no dignity. People are born in lies, steeped in deception, and they think we are all like them. That is why they open their mouth, and they yap gibberish all the time. I want to prove to you that Buhari is dead. Listen to Wole Soyinka, for goodness sake. This UG.
What happened to me with this incident is just typical of what's happening to millions of people all over the country. And we cannot just sit still and say we're relying on central help when obviously it's not coming.
Are you listening to that?
Does not appreciate the situation. He doesn't understand. I see no evidence that he understands how grave the situation is. I've said it again and again. But I don't believe he's in charge. Because it's not possible in my view.
What did he say?
State the commander-in-chief. I see no evidence that he understands how grave the situation is. I've said it again and again. But I don't believe he's in charge. Because it's not possible, in my view, for a head of state, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces to say he's presiding over a nation and things get to this level. Something is critically wrong in the leadership, within the leadership of this nation. And that is where we see.
Are you listening? There is nowhere on this earth you will have a commander-in-chief. School children are being abducted, people are being slaughtered every day, and the idiot keeps quiet and keeps speaking through Garba Shehu. If Garba Shehu wants to die, let him come out and say he's the leader of the Fulani Janjaweed cabal running the zoo called Nigeria, headquartered in Asarok. I don't know how else you want it. Buhari is not there. There is no way, even if he's a cockroach who is in charge of any nation in the world, no country can be going through what the zoo is going through. And the president will not speak. Nowhere on this earth, only in the zoo. Do you see why I call Nigerians animals? They don't reason. They never ever reason. Do you see it? Well, Shenka is telling you that you don't have anybody there. There is nobody in Asarok because it defies logic that you have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and this is going on, and the idiot decides to say nothing. Garba Shehu will come out and tell us, he's his style. Since when? This was a man that went to Yoruba land to go and warn them about the clashes between the so-called North and the West. When he wasn't the head of state, some of you don't read. You don't know your history. Buhari went to the same year to go and warn them. When there was a clash in the past, when he wasn't even then the head of state, talk less of now that people are dying everywhere, including his beloved Katsina, where his mother comes from. Who doesn't know that Buhari is not a Nigerian? That Buhari's father came with duck to sell and met the mother from Daura and married her. Who doesn't know that? Only stupid, idiotic Nigerians. Fools everywhere. Idiots everywhere. That is why I insult you, because you don't reason. Once you're a Nigerian, you have no brain. You cannot reason very well. Shenka is telling you, you cannot have any head of state anywhere in the world. Now, anything I say, Garba Shehu, anything that Femi Adesina says, you should consider that is the president saying it in a time of crisis, in a time of war, more or less, internal strife, threat to life and limb. And you're telling us that what you say, we should regard as the president talking. And I'm sure, having said this now on Radio Biafra today, believe you me, before 7 days, the idiot will speak, or before the month runs out. They will record, using deep fake video and artificial intelligence AI, they will put something together and play for you, not live. They won't allow journalists to ask him questions, which is, anyway, he's having fun. I don't know if he takes tramadol or ecstasy. He's a young man, very active. To have kept Aisha Buhari in Dubai, keeping her busy all this while in Dubai, is no mean feat. The young man is having fun in Dubai. All of you are shouting one Nigeria in the zoo. Bunch of animals everywhere. We are live and we are direct, and we have to preach the truth here. You may not like it, but we have to preach it. I don't believe Buhari is in charge, because it is not possible for a commander-in-chief of the armed forces to say he's presiding over a nation and things get to this level. Common sense, which we don't have in Africa. That was why the white man colonized us. That was why the white people came to Africa and divided us into pieces, because we do not reason. Oh, my goodness me. Very, very sad indeed. But I thank him for his candor, at least he's admitting. Now that the Fulani cattle clashed with his lettuce and cucumber, he is now speaking up until it affects you. And these are the intelligent class, so to speak. You will stay there and watch evil happen to other people and you say nothing until it affects you, until your family is suffering, then now you speak. Typical black people, typical black people, until it affects you. When somebody's corpse, so another family is bereaved, it doesn't affect you until you suffer the same thing. What is wrong with you black people? What on earth is wrong with you people? What is wrong with your brain? Yoruba, you are there. The daughter of Pafashiranti was killed. Your forest taken over, and they are coming to preach to you that you are one before, whereas they are in your forest. Tell Fulani, if you want to prove to us that we are one, vacate our forest. Nobody is living in the forest in the north. No southerner is living in the forest, in the Janjaweed core north. Nowhere. Each time they bypass the debate, each time they bypass farmer-header clash. How can a farmer be in the south? You bring your cattle from the north, you say it's a clash. You come into my farm and you destroy my crops, you're calling it a clash. Oh, black people, black, God forbid. God forbid. You saw these so-called bandits, Fulani, kidnapping school children over and over again. They kidnap school children. Over and over again, they keep kidnapping school children. Why is it you don't ask yourself this question? Who are the people committing these crimes? The same people, the same Fulani every blessed day. Somebody said, we learned how to kidnap. Somebody said we learned how to kidnap from the Niger Delta people. That's what they said, from Niger Delta militants. That was how they learned how to kidnap. That was what somebody, a Janjaweed, opened his mouth and said, a Janjaweed from the north. Now, let me ask you something. In the history of everything you may have written or heard about Niger Delta militancy, did you hear any day that they kidnapped school children? Did you hear ever before that anything, even during the worst times of insecurity in the South, that anywhere that school children were kidnapped? It's only in Janjaweed North, and they're bringing it down. Until you lose any of your children, until they kidnap your child, you will not be able to rise up and condemn what is evil. That is what makes you a black person. You are not black for no reason. You are black because of your wickedness. And I'm saying this without apologies to anybody. Because if we black people are not wicked, why must we wait until something affects us before we take action? Why? But even very upset, honestly speaking. Very, very upset. I am not happy about what is going on in the damnable zoological republic. In the damnable zoological republic, they kidnapped school children at a place called Kagara. Bandits with RPG. Kadira Ahmed will not see it and comment on it. Never. Arewa United or whatever they call, the idiots call themselves, they can never see such and condemn it. You saw school children with so-called bandits. Have you heard of any condemnation from any Fulani governor? What concerns them are those they sent into your bushes to slaughter you and to take over your land. Is it making sense now to all of you? I believe it is. I believe it is. Abdul Salami Abubakar, Nigeria is moving towards it. Why won't the zoo listen? He is exactly. You know, they have no shame. Maybe I should stop talking about them. They have no shame, these people. These are the people that drafted or copied the constitution in such a way or skewed it in such a way that Fulani gets everything. You and I know that Fulani cannot run a country. Let us be honest. Stop deceiving yourselves. Fulani cannot run a country. You know that very well. Only by moving cattle from place to place. You are aware of all this nonsense, yet this Janjaweed, they put together a constitution. Today he's complaining. Nigeria moving towards it. Why would it disintegrate? It must. I don't know for my Yoruba brothers. If they like, let them go and join their Fulani once again. That is their business. I don't care. But it will disintegrate. The zoo must disintegrate. Because this time around, we owe no apologies to anybody. We're not begging UN. Before it's, UN, can you come and do a referendum? No, we are not begging you. Britain will convince you to side the Fulani under the guise of one Nigeria to attack us. And then you see what God will do to mankind. You think that coronavirus is a joke. You will see how God will destroy all of you, one after the other. So come and join them once again. because that is what Britain does. That's the only job that Britain does, to support people. Have you, these people kidnapped, children, school children kidnapped by Fulani? Have you heard Britain condemn it? Will you see it on BBC News? BBC, are you telling me that a busload of children were kidnapped in Egypt? It will be everywhere. Everywhere. Ask yourself why. Is because once BBC reports it, the world will ask them, who are those doing this kidnapping anyway? They will say it's Fulani headsmen or Fulani terrorists. Britain doesn't want Fulani to get a bad name. That is why the kidnapping of children doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect them at all, which is very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad indeed. These are the things that we must know and fight against. These are the things we must learn to fight against. If Yoruba allow themselves to be deceived by Fulani, that is their business. But as for us, we are not moving 1 inch from where we are. We want total disintegration of the zoo. Total disintegration of the damnable zoological republic. And what is happening in Imo is also happening in Abia. Ibazu went, they gave him governor. They don't worry, we'll lead you back in. And Abia local government taken over by killer headsmen, bandits, and criminals. And we want us to allow them there. These are lawbreakers. The House of Reps on Tuesday told Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu that criminals, killer headsmen, and bandits have taken over all roads leading to Isukwato and Umunuchi, local government areas of Abia State. And some idiots are asking, there are people from Isukwato and Umunuchi in America. They are here eating hamburger and getting fat on the sweat of other people. They are in America, they are doctors, they are well successful people in America. But the road that leads to their father's compound has been blocked by Fulani terrorists. But they're in America having fun. They're in America. When we talk about ESN, they have nothing to contribute. There is no help. And I'm asking them, without ESN, who is going to defend this water? Who is going to stop them at Umunochi? Who will do it? I'm asking them. In America, they're in America here. There is Isukwato meeting in America. Do you know that? Isukwato meeting is here in America. Ben, the meeting is here in America. Their homes are being taken over by Fulani terrorists. They're in America. They're enjoying in America. And you want Trump to fight for you? You want American politicians to fight for you? They will ask you, where are you from? You say, Isukwato, what have you done? You're from Bend. What have you done to stop or to help those who are stopping them in your land? Nothing. And you're in America. You're doing Black Lives Matter in America. Whereas the lives of those at Umunochi doesn't matter. The lives of Isukwato people doesn't matter. When they call for a protest, Black Lives Matters in America, you come out. But when Fulani take over your land and ESN is fighting to save you, to save your ancestral home, you do nothing. In other house, you are looking at them to die, to sweat, to defend your land, and you're in America enjoying. God will punish all of you. Take a Uno uncle. I wish I can go to Isukwato meeting in America. I will tell them what they never said to hear in their lives because they are stupid, very, very stupid. It's a set of idiots. Idiots. You are in America enjoying. Fulani bandits have taken over Isukwato. You are in America having fun. You are having fun in America. Useless set of people everywhere. You think you're smart. Look at a black man's brain. Look at how stupid you are. You are in America. You're from Bed. Fulani, they are everywhere in our land. And you're attending a party. I have to close this program, honestly. Our people are very, very annoying. Sometimes I don't know why Chukwukabiama gave me this very mission. I'm telling you the truth. It will make me sick. You make me very, very sick. There is a way an Igbo man does his sense, and you begin to wonder. You know, there's a way you do sense, it becomes counterproductive. Like Ohanese's sense. You know Ohanese's sense. Look at where we are today. Have you, since Nyamodo came out and spoke like a man, and they reminded him of when he came and knelt down to beg them to make him the president. Has he not gone to sleep? You see, the life of Sabo and compromise is not good. Tanko Yakasai responded to him. once. Or is it Junaid? No, Junaid Mohammed. That talkative Alamadri. Junaid Mohammed responded to Mode only once. Told Mode, I remember you coming to kneel before me to beg me to make you the president of Nigeria. And since that day, Mode hasn't spoken to you today. These are the idiots you call your leaders. You know, these are the wretched refracts you call intellectuals. Men without shame and honor. How about you hear something like, can you say something about Nnamdi Kanu? You cannot. Can you say something about IPOB leadership? You cannot. When Fulani hear our names, they go into convulsion. That's how formidable we are. Look at him, he was backing like a pussycat. They reminded him of when he came to bed, he ran away. Has he spoken since then? The answer is no. Let me close this program, please. I'm not taking any calls or answering any questions. People from Isikuaton meeting in America, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You shouldn't exist. All of you should not exist. Then the meeting in America should be shut down. You have no right to exist. I'll be back in America in the summer. And I would like to meet some of you face to face to tell you in your face how stupid you are. You're in America enjoying people without shame and honor. Let me close the program, please, because I'm too upset to continue. This is rubbish, pure rubbish. They'll take over your land. Let me see where you go. You run to go and tell the congressman you cannot tell him or her. You cannot. You're eating hamburger and having party. And every month you send $100 back home to help the family, and you think you've arrived. Useless people like Let me close this program because we're on the money. Go, please. Good night, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. We'll catch you from.
Another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy,
Well, this is for BM. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and Ipob families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafra War. In the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafra army to fight. And they were singing out, holy, 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 this another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 this another Savior. Holy, 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 holy,